As protests spread across our country, we begin today with a sober warning from the governor of the state of California. That is, of course, the state at the epicenter of both Donald Trump's immigration crackdown and his efforts to use the United States military inside the United States and to potentially use it against Americans. In a speech last night, Governor Gavin Newsom accused Donald Trump of taking the nation to the brink by escalating a situation that state and local officials could have handled.
This brazen abuse of power by a sitting president inflamed a combustible situation, putting our people, our officers, and even our National Guard at risk. That's when the downward spiral began. He doubled down on his dangerous National Guard deployment by fanning the flames even harder. And the president, he did it on purpose. As the news spread throughout LA, anxiety for family and friends ramped up. Protests started again. By night, several dozen lawbreakers became violent and destructive. They vandalized property. They tried to assault police officers. Many of you have seen the video clips of cars burning on cable news. If you incite violence, I want to be clear about this. If you incite violence or destroy our communities, you're going to be held to account. That kind of criminal behavior will not be tolerated. Full stop. The situation was winding down and was concentrated in just a few square blocks downtown. But that's not what Donald Trump wanted. He again chose escalation. He chose more force. He chose theatrics over public safety. He federalized another 2,000 Guard members. He deployed more than 700 active U.S. Marines. These are the men and women trained for foreign combat, not domestic law enforcement. We honor their service. We honor their bravery. But we do not want our streets militarized by our own armed forces, not in LA, not in California, not anywhere. Trump and his loyalists, they thrive on division because it allows them to take more power and exert even more control. And by the way, Trump, he's not opposed to lawlessness and violence as long as it serves him. What more evidence do we need than January 6th? Look, this isn't just about protests here in Los Angeles. When Donald Trump sought blanket authority to commandeer the National Guard, he made that order apply to every state in this nation. This is about all of us. This is about you. California may be first, but it clearly will not end here. Other states are next. Democracy is next. Democracy is under assault before our eyes. This moment we have feared has arrived.
As Governor Newsom spoke, protests spread across our country, from New York City to Denver to Milwaukee. At least 25 rallies took place in major cities. More protests are taking place today ahead of large crowds expected to come out on Saturday when Donald Trump is holding a military parade in Washington, D.C. In Los Angeles, 700 Marines have been mobilized and are in the area now. Meanwhile, armed National Guardsmen have been aiding ICE agents in immigration raids across the Los Angeles area and beyond, including in California's agricultural and farming communities. The Los Angeles Times reports this. Alarm spread through California agricultural centers Tuesday as panicked workers reported that federal immigration authorities, who had largely refrained from major enforcement action in farming communities in the first months of the Trump administration. NBC's Jacob Soboroff is out in Ventura County, California, site of one of the raids that took place on Tuesday. Jacob, take me inside. Everything happening on the ground there.
Nicole, this is the latest location that the Trump administration has deployed ICE agents in a form and in a fashion that heretofore we haven't seen, as you mentioned, during this administration, and certainly not on a wide scale during Republican nor Democratic administrations for many decades. This is Ventura County. In Ventura County, one of the hearts of California's agricultural economy, which, by the way, is part of the economic engine of the United States of America. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry in the fourth largest economy in the world, the state of California is. Ventura has thousands of farms just like this one and tens of thousands of workers who work on these farms. And yesterday, as videos started coming in of ICE chasing after workers in fields like this, just like in Los Angeles to the west, it has struck fear into the hearts of the workers of this community. And the idea that this would be some kind of national security threat, or this would be some kind of clear and present danger to the people of California, take a look for yourself. You know what's happening out here right now, Nicole? There are strawberries sitting behind me that are going unpicked. And it's reminiscent, as you look at some of the video of the raids here in Ventura County yesterday, of what happened in Alabama back in 2012 when a restrictive immigration law was put into place back then, and it decimated the agricultural economy. Things are dying literally on the vine. Maybe JB can give you a look. Take a look. I can smell the strawberries from where I'm standing right now. There are a couple of workers out in this field, but really all you see is fruit that is going unpicked. And so what ultimately will end up happening, Nicole, is in a couple of weeks, if not a couple of months, if not weeks, you're going to start to feel the impact on the economy, not just of California, but across the country. The food supply of this state and of people across the nation will start to be impacted. And most importantly, Nicole, the workers who are at the heart, the beating heart of California's economy are not going to be showing up to work. And obviously the consequences of that are very clear to everybody.
Jacob, I worked in California state politics at the beginning of my career, and the people who own that land behind you are powerful political forces in their own right. Where are they today?
I can tell you that people in this community are incensed. The mayor of Oxnard, California, a city here in Ventura County, spoke out along with the police chief of Oxnard. They represent those business owners that you're talking about. And I'm paraphrasing here, but essentially the mayor of Oxnard said, not only does this put our citizens in danger, in jeopardy, scares people from cooperating with law enforcement, but obviously this is detrimental, if not devastating, to the economy of this part of California. The idea that this is happening here, of all places, you know, does this look like a dangerous location to you? Does it look like there are violent criminals walking out in the fields behind me? This is a change, and this is a change that's going to affect dramatically not only the food product, as I said, and this is the message that they're sending, that goes out across the country. You think by the end of the summer, by the way, when this impact is being felt, as we get into the fall, Thanksgiving season, the produce that comes from here, the vegetables that come from here, the nuts that come from California, and we're talking about billions of dollars of products, produce, and also tens of thousands of people, and virtually overnight, things are going to change out here. And like I said, it is something that the agricultural community here has been fearing for a very long time, and I think a lot of people thought this was not going to happen, but here we are.
I mean, to your point, this is where there is scant public support. Pew Research, which last asked the question of the public in March, only 15% of Americans support deporting undocumented immigrants who have a job. 14% of Americans support deporting people who are parents of children that were born here. 9% support deporting people who came to our country as immigrants. And only 5% of all Americans support deporting someone married to a U.S. citizen. I imagine that the people who work there behind you, well, they're definitely all in the first category. They have a job. So 85% of all Americans oppose deporting people like the workers, if they happen to be illegal, who work in the fields behind you. Are you seeing evidence of that public opposition to deporting these folks?
Oh, of course. There were rallies on the streets here in Ventura County yesterday immediately after this happened, and several different coalitions swung into immediate action. I can't quite communicate strongly enough how unusual it is to see what I saw on the drive up here. I saw the same CBP Black Hawk chopper, Aaron Marine, that has been flying around downtown Los Angeles, and we confirmed this looking at flight tracking software, flying around these fields. A Black Hawk chopper that normally is down on the border, watching for people that are crossing in an unauthorized fashion, looking for cartel activity on both sides of the border, is flying over strawberry fields in Ventura County. I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I mean, you know, you make your own judgment about what that means and whether or not it's necessary. But that's what's happening at this hour in Ventura County, California.